Hi, my name is Alyssa Minnier, and my background is in mechanical engineering. So a little bit about me, my educational background, I went to Penn State for my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. Then I also got my master's degree in mechanical engineering at Penn State through an online program. My career so far, since I graduated from Penn State, I started working at Voith Hydro in York, Pennsylvania. I started as a design engineer in the generator team, and I worked in engineering for about 6 or 7 years. And then my current position, which I've been in for about 1 year now, um, I am a manager in our manufacturing facility. So I manage a department as well as hourly workers, and I'm also uh, sort of a technical advisor to the work that we do in the shop. Yeah, so the reason that I chose engineering as my major, growing up, I always loved math and science. Those were always my two favorite subjects in school as a young child and all the way up through high school. I also have always been interested in finding out how things work and building things. I've done a lot of projects with my dad. We've refinished our basement. We built a patio, built a pond. So a lot of uh, different kind of hands-on activities. In my brain is just a bit more mechanical. Um, so I chose mechanical engineering because it was, it's a very broad major. You can do a lot of different things with it. And I wasn't quite sure what exactly I wanted to do. So mechanical engineering gave me the option. Um, there's just a lot of different options there. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in 2012. And I had interned with Voith Hydro, the company where I work now. I had interned with them for the 2 summers before I graduated. And then I really loved the company and the people there. So they hired me full time once I graduated. And then I started graduate school in 2014. So I had worked for 2 years in the industry before going to grad school. And it took me about 5 years to complete my master's degree because I was working full time during that whole process. For me, I chose to uh, go out and work in the industry before going to grad school. Actually, when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I really wasn't sure if I would go to graduate school. But I had a supervisor who had his doctorate in mechanical engineering. And he kind of convinced me, that having a master's degree would, kind of give me a little bit of a competitive advantage and help me out in my career. So that's why I chose to then start graduate school. And I think for me personally, that was a good choice to work out in industry, get a little bit of experience first, because it gave me that kind of real world knowledge of what an engineering job looks like. And then that also helped me when I was back in school. It helped me really be able to identify the things that would be important for me to learn in that course and be able to apply it directly to my job. And I know a lot of people do choose to go directly into graduate school. And I think that's also, a good path for some people. Um, I just think for me, it was good to have that kind of experience and know a little bit more what I wanted to do so I could be a little bit more focused in graduate school. Yeah, so my company, we design, manufacture, and install hydroelectric equipment at hydropower dams. I was in the generator team when I first started. So working in generator design is a little bit more. It's kind of a combination of electrical and mechanical design. It's equally both parts. I worked in mechanical design, but I also needed to have that knowledge of the electrical engineering side. So definitely my electrical engineering classes as part of the mechanical engineering degree helped me there. Also, my heat transfer classes were a big benefit. And I actually, during one of my internships, I was able to apply what I had learned just that year before to my summer internship. I had to actually perform a calculation that involved heat transfer. So that was my first example of, oh, the things I'm learning in school really do apply to the real world. Then because of the industry I'm in, I did take the turbo machinery class. I can't remember what the class number is, but that was very interesting. We did touch on hydropower a little bit in that class. So I think that kind of, the reason I took that class was because I had already had my internships with Voith Hydro. And so I wanted to see, you know, kind of a comparison of what was being taught in the school versus what actually is happening in a real world engineering case. So that class was interesting. I think it definitely did. You know, especially the classes going a bit deeper into the technical side helped me, but also I added a graduate minor, the engineering leadership and innovation management minor, which I think those courses really helped me a lot on more of the kind of project management side of things, which is actually, you know, you don't really think so much about an engineering job. If you're a design engineer like I was, you don't really think so much about project management being beneficial to you because that's not your job, you know, on a daily basis. But being able to learn some skills about planning and the leadership courses also helped with, you know, interacting with different types of people and understanding different management styles. So those were some classes that were very beneficial to me as well. That would be one of my recommendations for engineering students. You know, of course, your technical courses are very important, you know, critical to your major, but I think that some of those other more project management leadership courses can be helpful, even if you don't intend to end up on a management track. When I first started having, you know, my bachelor's degree, I was offered 2 jobs, and they were both within the range of about 55 to 60,000 starting salary. My time with my company, I've gotten, you know, sometimes a significant raise, sometimes, you know, just a steady raise, but usually, you know, your salary continues to climb. So now I would say my salary is about 30% higher at this point than from when I started, and I've been in the industry for 8 years. I personally have not really experienced so much of a difference, but I know some of my coworkers have had different experiences than I have. I think it's just kind of related to, you know, a way that you maybe handle yourself in certain situations, and your comfortability with coworkers. You know, I think if you're thinking about, you know, oh, I'm this woman in the room of 20 men and I'm the only one. I think, I don't know if maybe some people, you know, think about it too much. I just have kind of, you know, tried to, you know, blend in and be, you know, I'm an engineer just like you, and I know what I'm doing. So I think that's been, you know, my best advice for young women engineers. Just, you know, show that you know what you're doing and have confidence in yourself, and you know, they'll see that you're good at your job, and right there on the same level with everybody else. So, I mean, currently not doing so much in the pandemic, but as far as my personal life, I get along with my coworkers really well. So we have a group of young engineers that often, before the pandemic, we would go, out on a Friday night and have dinner, have some drinks, whatever, and hang out on the weekends. Sometimes I was part of a group that would go rock climbing. So we would do indoor rock climbing. We went outdoor climbing at least one time when I was with them. Um, Other hobbies, I recently got into woodworking actually. So yeah, so that it's a kind of runs in my family, I guess. My grandfather was a great woodworker. My uncle is very into it now, as well. And so I've kind of started, building just some furniture for myself. So that's something I do in my free time. Um, I have a dog. I have a corgi. He's 4 years old, and he keeps me pretty busy. He's has a lot of energy. So I like to go hiking, take him on hikes, things like that.